So, the next big tech battle, it's not for your phone, it's not for your laptop. No, it's for your face. Seriously, we're talking about the race to build the first truly popular pair of AI smart glasses. And you've got two giants leading the charge, Meta and Google. And believe me, they are coming at this from completely different directions. And to really get what's at stake here, you have to start with this number, 7 million. That is how many pairs of smart glasses Meta is expected to sell in 2025 alone. I mean, they basically built this market from scratch, and now they completely dominate it. And that's not me being dramatic. Right now, if you think about smart glasses that people are actually buying, that you see out in the world, you're thinking about the Meta Ray-Bans. They are, without a doubt, the company to beat. And see, this is where it gets really, really interesting. Because while Meta is out there selling millions of glasses that are basically built for social media, another player is stepping back into the ring with a totally different pitch. They're arguing that the whole point of this tech isn't to look cool, it's to be useful. And yeah, that challenger is Google. Okay, so before we dive into Google's big comeback plan, we really need to understand how Meta got here in the first place. How on earth did they succeed where so many others, including Google themselves, let's not forget, failed so spectacularly? Honestly, you gotta hand it to Meta. They played this brilliantly. They didn't try to sell some geeky tech gadget. They sold a fashion accessory that just happened to have cool tech inside. Partnering with Ray-Ban, maybe the most iconic glasses brand on the planet? Genius. They started simple, no screen, nothing crazy, just to get us all comfortable with the idea. And they priced it at a point where normal people could actually afford it. The whole goal was to make it easier for you to create content, to feed that endless stream of photos and videos straight into Instagram, which, of course, is the heart of their whole business. And you know what? It absolutely worked. All right, now let's flip the script and look at Google's approach. It could not be more different. They are not trying to get into a selfie and video competition with Meta. No, they are coming back with a playbook that is built on all the painful lessons they learned in the past. And it's all focused on one singular word: utility. And make no mistake, this isn't some sudden move. This has been a decade in the making. Remember the glass hole era? After that very public failure of the original Google Glass, they went completely back to the drawing board, they quietly bought up key technology, they waited for their AI to get powerful enough, and now they're planning this very calculated return for 2026. This is way more than a product launch. For Google, this is a redemption story. And they're not just coming back with one product. Nope, they're launching a whole family of devices. It starts with the Gemini audio frames. They look just like regular glasses, but they give you a direct line to a super powerful AI assistant. Then you've got the Display Edition, which adds a little heads-up display for things like directions. And the big one, Project Aura. That's a full-on developer kit designed to kickstart a whole app ecosystem on their new OS, which is called Android XR. So you're probably wondering, how do you cram a massive AI into a tiny little pair of glasses without it, overheating or dying in 5 minutes? Well, the secret is you don't. At least, not all of it. Google's big engineering trick is something they're calling a split compute architecture. Let me break it down. The really simple stuff, like skipping a song, that happens on a tiny custom chip right there in the frames. But for more complex jobs, like identifying a building you're looking at, that gets passed off to your phone. And for the really heavy lifting, the truly mind-blowing AI stuff, the glasses tap into the full power of the Gemini AI model way up in the cloud. It's this seamless 3-layer system that keeps the glasses you're actually wearing light, cool, and efficient. And this is the most crucial part to understand. For Google, these aren't just little screens you wear. They are the eyes and ears for an AI that sees the world with you. It's about giving your AI assistant the exact same context you have, so it can actually be helpful in the real world, not just on a screen. Okay, so now that we've got the tech down, let's put these two giants side by side. Because this is where you can really see just how fundamentally different their visions for our future are. I mean, just look at this breakdown. Meta is social first, plain and simple. It's leveraging its huge advantages in Instagram and WhatsApp to drive all that social sharing. Google is utility first, building on its empire of Maps, Search, and Gmail to give you information. Meta's AI is built on Llama. Google's is running on Gemini 2.5 Pro, which is tied into its entire knowledge graph. Even their design philosophies are polar opposites. Meta has that exclusive deal with Ray-Ban, while Google is planning to partner with a whole bunch of brands, like Warby Parker. This is a true clash of titans, and they have fundamentally different DNA. And you can see so clearly how Google is trying to fix every single mistake they made the first time around. The original glass looked like a tech prototype and cost a ridiculous $1,500. The new glasses? They're being designed with actual fashion brands and are aiming for a much more reasonable price. And most importantly, to deal with all those privacy fears, there's going to be a mandatory hardwired LED light that turns on anytime the camera is active. No more glass holes.
So, why does all this matter? Why are two of the biggest companies on the planet pouring billions of dollars into this stuff? Well, because the amount of money to be made here is absolutely massive.
Just look at this growth curve. Right now, this market is less than $1 billion. But by 2026, right when Google is set to launch, it's projected to be over $5.5 billion. And by 2030, analysts are predicting it's going to hit $40 billion. That is an insane explosive growth curve that no major tech company can afford to sit out. And this demand is coming from all over the place. The US and China are driving most of it. Gen Z is by far the most interested consumer group, but the really huge, almost immediate opportunity, it's in the enterprise market. Think about logistics, manufacturing, even surgery, places where having hands-free information could be a total game changer. I mean, that segment alone is going to be a multi-billion-dollar prize. Okay, let's zoom all the way out. Because this whole race isn't really about a new gadget. It's about a fundamental change in how we interact with information and with the internet itself. The grand vision, the big idea that everyone's chasing is something called ambient computing. The idea is that the internet stops being this thing that's trapped inside the rectangle in your pocket. Instead, it unflattens and becomes this seamless layer of information and assistance that's just overlaid on the world around you. But the leaders of the tech world have very different ideas about how we're going to get there. You've got Mark Zuckerberg, who's on record saying he thinks glasses will eventually replace the phone completely. Then in the middle, you have Tim Cook at Apple, who sees them as a really powerful accessory, but still connected to the phone. And then there's Google's Sundar Pichai, who argues that for the foreseeable future, the phone is still going to be the powerful brain for these new, lighter devices. And that really brings us right back to the beginning. For Google, this isn't just a hardware project. It is, at its core, an AI project. As their CEO Sundar Pichai put it, AI isn't just a feature anymore. It is the fundamental foundation of everything they build. And these glasses, they're just the next and maybe most personal place for that AI to live. So here we are. We have two completely competing visions. One is social first, all about sharing your life. The other is utility first, all about enhancing your life.